Myanmar's Aung San Suu Kyi testifies in court, but a gag order prevents her defense from being made public. Her courtroom testimony in the capital Naypyidaw, however, was not publicly available due to a gag order imposed on her legal team by the military junta. The 76-year-old Nobel laureate was testifying at her trial on one of several charges brought against her. She had pleaded not guilty to the charge of incitement last month, alongside ousted President Win Myint, whose testimony on October 12 challenged the military's insistence that no coup took place. That charge stems from letters bearing their names that were sent to embassies urging them not to recognize the junta. Suu Kyi, who was Myanmar's state councillor and de facto leader of the country, has been hit with a raft of criminal charges that could see her put behind bars for decades if found guilty. In September, Suu Kyi appeared dizzy as she heard charges and was deemed too ill to attend court. Her lawyer in early October asked the court that hearings for each case be held every 2 weeks rather than every week, over concerns the busy schedule was having on her health. According to Reuters, Suu Kyi and her ruling National League for Democracy party was overthrown when the military seized power in a February 1 coup, ostensibly over alleged election irregularities. She has been held in detention at an undisclosed location in the capital since then. Her lawyers and supporters consider the charges against her to be politically motivated.
During his testimony last week, Win Myint, who was Myanmar's head of state, told the court that senior military officials approached him on February 1 and told him to resign due to ill health. The gag order on Suu Kyi and Win Myint's lawyers was imposed following this hearing. ASEAN snub over continued violence. Tuesday it also marked the first day of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Leaders Summit in Brunei. The summit began without a representative from Myanmar after the bloc excluded General Min Aung from attending over a failure to end the violence, allow humanitarian aid into the country, and give access to an ASEAN envoy. Myanmar has been racked by violence, unrest, and humanitarian crises since the military, led by Min Aung, seized power more than 8 months ago. In August, Min Aung declared himself prime minister of a newly formed caretaker government and said elections would be held by 2023. But there remains widespread public opposition to the junta. The months since the coup have been marked with widespread bloodshed and violence as the junta cracked down on nationwide pro-democracy protests, a prolonged civil disobedience movement, and increasing conflict with People's Defense Forces who are taking up arms against junta forces. Last week, the military announced it was releasing 5,600 prisoners detained during the protests. The coup. But dozens of political prisoners were rearrested moments after being released, according to human rights groups and eyewitnesses.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.